cannot bear to watch it. Imagine that.
You okay with that?
Yes, fine, thank you.
Continue with roll call. Raymond Camina,
Present.
Gabriel Castillo. I believe he's asking for an excused absence, but I'll return to that at the end of the roll call. Elizabeth Flores.
Here.
Maribel Garcia. Judith Gutierrez.
Here.
Omar Minjas. Salo Otero. Marisa Ramirez, present. And Magali Rodriguez.
Present.
We have two members that are asking for excused absence. Gabriel Castillo, he has a work meeting, and also Omar Minjas, he has a work meeting today.
I would move that we excuse those two board members from the meeting.
I'll
As
second.
requested.
Motion carries. Then do we have any public or citizen comments to bring to our meeting today?
No, Madam Chair.
Then we have the approval of our minutes for the March 3rd, 2022 meeting, which is on page 2.
I read the minutes and I didn't find any corrections, deletions, or additions, and if there are none from any board members, I would like that we approve the minutes as submitted, Madam Chair.
I second it.
Motion carries, thank you. Now we move on to reviewing the year-to-date financial statements, which is on page 4.
Morning, Madam Chair. We have financial statements that's on page 4 all the way through 6. So everything's coming along pretty good. Everything's going good. The collections, everything. The only thing that we wanted to update the committee is that we just recently submitted our revenues and our expenditures for next year's fiscal year, 2022 and 2023.
The budget.
The budget, so it still hasn't been approved, but we need to submit that, and in August, normally that's when we have budget workshops with council, but at least we have an idea what we're gonna be planning for next year, what are we, the projects that we wanna do, and then that goes to council in August.
That budget, or is it like this year's budget, or did you increase it by 10%?
We did a little bit of increase,
next year.
for next year. I think it was about, what, 5-10%, I think? It was very conservative. We because of we had a lot of expenditures due for the upstairs of the meeting space, so we shifted the monies, basically, that's what we did. More than anything, yeah, so we're not gonna have this project that we're gonna expense, so we allocated that money to other projects. So we just, it was mostly more than anything, it was more the shift of the funds. But we are now gonna have both agencies, the US agency, the Mexico agency, and we've been seeing all the different projects that we have, so we're really excited for next year, and it's gonna.
Let me ask you this, what's in the budget right now? All the numbers that we targeted, that were there, were that you hit the target?
Yes, that is correct, yes. Yeah, we.
No, over or under?
No, right now we're doing really good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Our concern right now is still, Magali and Marisa could attest this, more than anything is the people that are staying long-term. But
That's also a lot.
yeah, so it helps, but we still haven't seen the collections. But I can tell you that, we had a group from Mojave, which is in Universidad Autónoma de Tamaulipas. They were going to have a regional meeting, and they were going to meet with TAMU. They're moving it to Laredo because I guess they didn't know Laredo was happening. So I had to call hotels because they needed the room rates from one day to another. Oh my God, it was crazy.
Oh.
And the rates are super high, so it was but it's a good thing, but then, so it has pros and cons, but.
Is it a supply demand and rates?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the concern is because of the long term, they wouldn't collect taxes, right?
Yeah.
But now with the rates being higher, so that, I think in a way, it's gonna be offsetting that,
Yeah.
But it doesn't help the hotel tax.
No.
No.
No, but if the rates are higher, so then yes, you collect more tax in those rooms that were actually collecting the tax.
Yeah. It's on the tax,
To
yeah,
compensate for
Yes,
what-
compensate for what it's not,
Yes.
yes.
yeah.
So maybe
It
we're,
really does?
yes, because let's say, I don't know how many rooms do we have in total in the city?
A little bit, in the city, we have a little bit over 4,000.
Okay, so let's say out of those 4,000, you're selling half to long-term and not collecting taxes.
2,000.
The other 2,000, if you're selling them higher, some hotels are selling up to double what they
Double.
used to sell.
Yeah, some of
So
them even
that's-
triple.
That's when you see that increase on your tax collection. Not on the ones that you're not taxing, but on the ones that you're actually taxing. So, yeah, so it's gonna, probably, the difficult part is that we're not gonna see the increase or the benefit
Yeah.
of having such a, you know, busy time for hotels. We're not gonna see the.
Why don't we collect taxes on long-term?
Because since there's over 30 days, the government, they
They
get,
don't pay taxes this
Yeah.
year. How many have you got?
Non-taxable.
Yes. That's considered, now that's considered, your place that you live, like your
Yeah.
actual, you know.
Like
Like
a,
a-
like
It's
apartments,
like a- yeah, so
like an
it's-
apartment, you don't
yeah,
pay.
you don't pay taxes on it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
We should put them in tents.
I agree with you. You need to write a letter to the governor. Let him know how we feel, my dear.
but everything else looks good.
Yeah.
Just wanted to bring that up to.
I wanted to ask on the budget, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did we need or did we make any adjustments for more personnel or do we need any? Or we're good?
So, that's an interesting question, Mayor. So one of our employees retired.
Yes.
So we're gonna shift that position. She was a sales assistant, now it's gonna become a full assistant sales position.
Oh.
So either he or she that's gonna get, we're already working on finalizing the PTQ. So once we submit everything, that person's gonna be 100% dedicated for sales.
Oh, good. Okay.
And we are looking with the fine arts and culture of opening a position as well. So we are looking into that as well. So we might get at least, for sure, 2 positions within this new fiscal year, or at least currently 1. And then with the new fiscal year, we might be looking into another one. And in August, if with the sports complex and everything, council may decide, you know, we want to add more employees, then that's going to be in the directive, we get that from them. But at least one of the positions that we currently have is going to be converted into sales position, strictly focused 100% in sales. And then the other one, it's probably with the fine arts and culture, so open it.
Would that include, you know, going out to conferences and stuff?
Yes,
Because I know that you do a good job in
Yeah.
using your personnel is going to
yeah.
recruit them.
So, yeah, so the idea is for that person to be constantly going to Austin, San Antonio, visiting with,
Very good.
you know, so, and then it leaves me a little bit more to focus here, and so, you know, trying to shift the stuff, so. So yeah, that's, we're working on that, so, yeah.
Good luck.
Mhm.
On finding somebody good, you need somebody.
Yeah, we're really excited,
Yeah,
yeah,
really, really.
You do need a salesperson
yeah,
that dedicates themselves to it.
it's, yeah,
So you
100%.
guys are really good at it, you know.
Check the car salespeople.
I know, right?
They use cars.
Yeah, so, but yeah, that's where.
Remember, buy local.
Yes, yeah. You had a question, Madam Chair?
Yes, I had a question, I just wanted to understand what this percent is.
So the 45,000?
No,
The 127, so that means is that we, on our collections, we basically, are outperforming everything that we collected. Now the. Projected, sorry,
What
yeah.
is that a percentage of change?
Is it a percentage of change?
No, it's the percentage of the projection. So at this
Oh, okay, it's
point,
a
Yeah.
percentage
we
over that.
projected we were gonna collect by now
Okay.
1.4 million.
And we end up collecting.
We're actually at 1.7, almost
Seven.
1.8, which is
Yeah.
127% of our projection.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Madam.
Does anybody have any other questions on the financials? And thank y'all again for putting out the breakdown on all the expenses and personnel.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
Great.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
It is very helpful. Moving on to the March 2022 activity report, we begin with the director's report, which is on page 7.
Yes, so Madam Chair, Eileen's report is on page 7 and 8. And one of the things that I wanted to highlight, it's the sports complex. Eileen and I, we were together and we met with engineering and with city departments and the architects. And so now we actually have an official name for the complex. It's the Buena Vista Sports Complex. And
Where did that come from?
that was an agreement I think they had with the owners of the land that donated the land. They had a right to name the complex. But if you see here on the master plan, on the image that I input, so what we're gonna, the first phase of the construction, it's gonna be the 10 fields that are on your right hand, well, on my side is my left hand side corner. The 10 baseball fields, it's gonna be multi-purpose, so it's gonna be baseball and softball, 100% turf, which is great.
What
because
about soccer?
Soccer, so we're gonna do 2 pots that are in the middle. So those 2 pots, you see 3, the first phase is gonna be the 10 fields and 2 pots.
Right here?
This 10 fields, and then this 2 pots.
Okay.
And those 2 pots are gonna be what we're gonna do, those are 100% turf as well. They're gonna be multi-purpose, so we'll be able to use it as baseball, softball as well, with a retractable fence. So they're gonna do all because it's all artificial turf, so they're gonna align, they're gonna do all the striping for the bases, and turf, and it's not gonna affect the game. So you can use it for soccer, you're gonna be able to use it for multi-purpose. So technically, we should be able to have 14 to 16 baseball fields or softball.
So let's say that I want to go there right now.
Mhm.
How would I get there?
So right now, you would take Loop 20, and you're gonna pass, and I think it's Worcester Street, I think. Wormser, that's where you're gonna enter, that's gonna be the main entrance.
But
You're going to like Zapata.
Yeah,
left?
left, yeah,
I know that
so,
there's
So you're
a
gonna go
van.
under
yes,
and go down that way?
that way, yes, that's correct, yeah. If the city, well, obviously it's TechStop, if TechStop doesn't open, because right now it's a turnaround, if they don't open that, then you're gonna have to go all the way to Sierra Vista, which is less than half a mile.
Yeah.
It really
You
is.
know how dangerous that?
Yeah, and you do a
You ever
turnaround.
been there? I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
and just the turns are wacky, I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, you can get killed, people have that.
Yeah. So Wormser, they already have it set up, I'm not sure they're gonna put a light
Well, they better.
once they open the complex, but if you can go in through there, then the entrance will be, is do a U-turn on Sierra Vista, which is literally like 3-4 blocks. Do a
Yeah, but
U-turn.
if you're gonna do a UE and you
Yeah.
have a U-turn, I mean, then there's gonna be a backup of cars.
Yeah.
But right now, you can't go through 359.
No, it is gonna connect, because they're gonna build,
Eventually.
eventually they're gonna connect Concord Hills entrance
Right,
to connect to the complex.
right.
So if you look at the little map, you'll see where there's very little, but that's a connection of Concord Hills.
Okay.
So on the very top corner, that's the connection of Concord Hills, so you'll be able to come in through 359 or Loop 20.
That would mean going through the
So of the
elementary
subdivisions,
school.
the elementary school, yeah. So that's gonna be mostly used as a emergency exit, like people getting out.
That's it, elementary school in Concord here?
Yeah, I think Bonnie Garcia, yeah.
So I thought.
Yeah, it's gonna go through all there, it's gonna connect. So eventually, all that's gonna connect through the Wormser or Concord Hills. I'm not sure they're gonna build through the back, I don't think so. That back one is gonna be an emergency probably.
But you know what, they better start thinking about that.
Yeah, so,
I mean, you build
yeah,
and you know they're gonna come.
yeah,
And you know they're gonna come, there's gonna be
Mhm.
traffic problems.
yeah.
So you may, why is it that they not think, you know, the futuristic, we better start thinking, how we're gonna accommodate all the traffic.
And we have so many kids here, and the reason I know is because my grandson plays soccer. But we have so many soccer leagues in Laredo.
Oh my God.
We have a bunch, and it's good for the kids because they're older kids,
Yeah.
but at least you keep them out of trouble.
Trouble, yeah.
And you know where they play? You know on Calton Road?
Mhm.
That little bitty soccer field that's the size of this room?
Yeah,
I mean, give me a break.
yeah. So now they're gonna be able to,
Was that already with the connections to the city?
yeah.
Let's
So,
get it done,
Let's
girl.
get it done. Let's
So
get
we're-
Rabbit to help us.
yeah. So we're really excited,
And there's
yeah.
also potential for tournaments and stuff.
Oh, yes.
Especially international.
Yeah, because I mean, next
That
one,
would be
yeah.
the best.
So,
Yeah,
it
they-
would be nice if instead of 2, there were 4
Yeah.
fields, so you can actually, have
Yeah.
something.
So the soccer ones, it's gonna have, there's gonna be 4.
Oh, it's gonna be 4.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was 22.
yeah. So it's because in each one there's 2.
I can.
And then you could do it smaller, depending for the smaller kids. So you could convert them, and we're gonna have retractable fencing. Where if we wanna make it for baseball, we can do it for baseball, we wanna do it for soccer or softball. So that's the phase 1, and the phase 2 will be the other pots with the other, set of fields. So once everything's complete, it's gonna be 15 fields, and I believe it's gonna be total of 8 soccer fields. All turf, so we're really excited, and then obviously we're already working on the water park.
Yeah.
So the water park might be coming in with the construction of the complex.
That's what I'm saying about the
So
traffic.
it's gonna be, yeah,
You talk about the turnaround,
Yeah.
they have.
Especially
They
the
have
exit.
Vista.
yeah, Sierra Vista, yeah.
Especially at the exit, you know.
Yeah.
Right, where they
Yeah.
pile up, or the entrance, you know.
When we get the
Look at
admission
my
there.
grandson with his trophy.
Oh, wow, awesome.
Okay, I'm
What's
gonna-
your grandmother?
Yeah,
Aw.
Okay.
so cute.
And the trophy says, Liga Los Rieles, because they play right there on the Rieles on the.
Oh, wow, that's crazy,
Yes. Mejor portero de 2022.
Wow, awesome. Yeah.
Very good, Betty.
So,
They play
Por eso te,
on Calton,
so,
on Calton?
huh?
I mean, they play in Calton?
Oh, yeah. They play every day. Every
That's crazy.
day he has a game with some liga, because there's a bunch of ligas, and he belongs to like 3 or 4.
But all you have to do is drive around Sunday morning, and you.
Oh, it's crazy.
You go anywhere, and they're playing soccer.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday and Sunday.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and there's a lot of older people.
Yes.
They already have the years,
They
yeah,
grew up playing soccer, and
Yeah.
they continue, I mean, it's not a bad way to exercise, you know?
Even Monterrey has a group, master's group, they're 50 on up, they play.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what they do every
yes.
Sunday.
Yeah.
That's right.
And they are fast, they keep.
I know,
Very,
I went to one
yes.
game about before the pandemic, I was, wow,
Yeah.
these are all grandpas.
They're out of their age, my darling.
And the one in the Chacon over there, the police have to monitor it, because they start, smoking.
Yeah.
Pero
These are
hacen,
not the kids.
No.
hacen
Yeah.
carne asada, it's like a whole family thing.
Yes.
So the project right now should take at least minimum 18 months
This
construction.
is 18 months,
18
and when will
months.
they start, or they already?
Well,
started?
right now, they're about 70% completion of the design.
Okay.
No,
So-
they're in the design phase.
So right now, they're already gonna submit all the paperwork, and once they get the approval, the architect will start working on it.
I think they said it was 3 to 4 months to begin,
Yeah,
and if everything stays on track, calculations to kick off will be September 2023.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're,
For 2023?
and we're already working on
That's
the
if
process.
everything stays,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any
yeah,
delays.
yeah,
Okay,
weather,
yeah.
and,
So they're gonna have a
torrential
management
rains.
firm
Yeah.
that's gonna manage the complex.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so the
I don't
city,
think that we are equipped, to have the expertise to do that.
yeah,
So if you can farm it out, somebody that.
specializes on that.
Specializes in it.
So the city's already working on that, so hopefully with the construction and that management company, they'll work hand in hand, they'll put everything together and start pushing out. Obviously, we're gonna help with the advertising and promotion and everything, but the management firm that's gonna oversee the complex is gonna start working with contacts from the international, national, and state and
There's a
regional.
lot of.
Yeah, so we're really excited for that.
I
Yeah.
mean, they're gonna be busy.
Finally, we understand what Laredo can offer the
Mhm.
rest of the
Yeah.
country. Because we've always tried, before it was shopping,
Yeah.
but shopping in Mexico,
Yes.
and now we have had to diversify.
Mhm.
But I think sports is great, and especially swimming and soccer, because
Yeah.
that's the culture here.
Yeah.
And swimming, I mean, it's a given, with our weather.
Yeah.
And you should see these kids compete.
Mhm.
And then the schools, I know, pues you have to hire your own bus to go to a session in San Antonio
Yeah.
for taught by Olympic
Mhm.
swimmers. I mean, so you
I
have
know
to
that
make,
that was one of the things, and I know because my grandson was on the swim team when he transferred to Nixon. But he also went into golf.
Mhm.
So they were competing for time, 4 days, 2 and 2. And you can't do justice, and so his father, my son, told him, pick one or the
Yeah.
other.
Mhm.
Because you're not gonna be able, you can't split your time.
Yeah.
No.
You can't serve two masters, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick golf, and I'm telling you, he's a freshman, they already, asked him, to go into the team that, with the seniors,
Oh, varsity
the
team.
varsity team, and so now, now he's on the varsity team. And he
That's
plays
awesome.
he practices he comes
Every day?
every Saturday, Sunday.
yeah.
Very
it's-
long.
Very long hours.
That's his deal. I mean,
That's
they have
awesome.
What's his name? Porque we may see him on TV in the Masters.
Javier Gutierrez.
Awesome.
Other AKA Javi.
But
Yeah.
it's
But you guys
refreshing
varsity?
to see, that excitement from
Yes.
our youth to get into sports.
I was so happy
Yes.
that he enjoyed the football team, the
Yes.
basketball team, or,
Yeah.
because you know what can happen. But when he decided to play golf, he
What
found
can
his-
happen? Mine isn't basketball. I have a basketball player. He's very good as well.
That's good.
So
They have to find their.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let me
Yes.
tell you, it really helps the children,
Yes.
really helps the children develop and keep out of trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because they get bored so easily.
That's why I'm a little hesitant, because I know that, but, Elsie doing
Oh, yes.
away with
Sports.
sports, that's
Very
the
sad.
worst mistake.
Yeah.
In
It's
my
so
opinion,
sad.
my humble opinion.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
It is really
It
sad.
is because, as my son was saying, works at LC, and he was saying, Mom, a lot of the people are not gonna choose us because they're, they play sports. Baseball, volleyball.
I think it's gonna cut
Soccer.
down on their enrollment.
Yeah.
Well, they said it was a financial.
Financial.
Well, I understand.
But you try to promote those things, like you're saying, when you're young, and you find a sport and you stick with it, that you like it, and it keeps you out of trouble for God's
Yes.
sake.
I remember my son used to tell me when he was, my son's already 25, but when he was in middle school, he goes, Mom, if you're not in something like band or sports or something, then they come and pick on you. So
Mm.
the students that were not involved with
Yeah.
something to keep them busy, they were being picked on by whoever.
But the ones that are not doing
So it
anything,
makes sense that even it keeps them out of trouble too.
Yeah.
the bullying stops too, these are the kids
Well,
that
they're
you're saying.
restless, they're bored.
Yeah.
And it's part of the development and the friendships that they build and
Oh,
the
socialization
connection.
is so
is-
important.
yes,
It's like,
yes.
I want to tell you one other thing that I thought was the most significant of my grandson joining soccer. He learned to speak Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because he knew it and he heard it from us, but he wasn't verbalizing it, Well, when he started with soccer, it was all over. Either he learned it or he wasn't, in the group, because all the kids, and he'd get in and he'd say, and what does that word mean? And what does that word
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
So
I know.
now he's
Yeah.
fluent.
That's awesome.
That's
You know,
awesome.
Betty, that is such a good story, to be quite honest, because I think that a lot of the kids, and my grandkids included, no, except for my daughter's 2 kids who speak very fluent Spanish, but, they learn.
Mhm.
They learn skills, they learn language.
Yeah.
They learn sportsmanship.
Learning
They
to
learn
adapt.
Sportsmanship.
They learn how to verbalize it, learn how to, come together. I mean, to me, sports is a great thing for any development of any child. I mean, whether you're
It's
boy
responsibility.
or girl, I mean, and girls also, I mean, they're good soccer players, right now, there's no discrimination, and you can't discriminate, and girls are doing tremendous, I mean, they're doing tremendous.
Yeah, I'm very glad
Yeah.
that the city has invested in more and more of this, I really am.
Is there room for expansion too?
So as of right now,
How many acres is it?
it's 270, 270 acres.
All of this expansion is 270 acres?
Well, the whole land that they're donating, but with the water park and the parking and everything, I'm not sure how much it's gonna be eating of the land, but it's gonna take, it's because it's gonna have a lot of greenery, so, families that travel with kids, they're gonna have areas where they're gonna be able to warm up, and especially for baseball, so there's gonna be a lot of stuff. They're gonna integrate the nature, stuff that they don't have to remove, they'll leave it there, like mesquite trees that are
That are
part of it.
large, yeah.
It does have a lot of ponds, detention ponds, so that's gonna be part of it, so it's gonna look really nice.
And I'm so glad that they're doing it where they're doing it, it was a donated land, right?
Yes.
So that's fantastic.
Who donated the property?
The owners, I'm not sure, the family owners, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's something with Buena Vista, because they put something Buena Vista.
It could be.
It could be, yeah, I don't know, but,
Unless the subdivision is called Buena.
Buena Vista, yeah.
Or-
But I don't know the owners, personally, I don't know them, like,
Very generous of them.
yeah. They own, I think they kept another 400 acres that they're gonna develop eventually.
Well, that's a hook for them.
Yeah.
Doing this,
And
I'll
that's
give it.
okay.
And that's okay.
And I say that's
And who
that's
cares?
entrepreneurship, yes it is, of course, it's capital, yes it is,
Mhm.
They took, yes, they did, I mean, so they knew, they had a vision, and they
Yeah.
did it.
Yes.
And the
That's
land,
great.
it's beautiful, I was there, I got to see it when they went to go bid for who was gonna for the construction company. They were doing the bids, they did it there in the land, I was like, wow, it's beautiful.
Was it construction?
I don't know who, I think it was, Linedecker, I think was the one that got the,
Oh, I was
yeah. I think so, I'm not sure, I don't know, don't quote me.
No, but I mean, it's,
But I think so, but,
talk about experience, I mean,
Bonnie's from Laredo.
yeah.
what,
Bonnie's
Lord.
from Laredo.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have any, well, anyway, I think it's tremendous. Is there any more land there? Do they have
Oh, yeah.
more acres?
Yeah,
There's a lot of land.
But no, it's not
East of
developed.
that.
That's correct.
East
So
of
it's not
that.
developed,
That's
right?
No.
Watch that land develop, I don't wanna go like this.
Yeah, right behind Bonnie Garcia,
Mhm.
there's, that was our property, and we donated that land. But right behind it, we sold some land to a person that started to develop, and then something happened, and this was before COVID. I don't know if real estate went down or whatever, but he's already got all the connections, everything is set up
Ready
just to
get
clear
started?
the land again and build.
Yeah.
Is he selling?
Not yet, I mean, he's just sitting on it.
Well, I think he's sitting on it because it's going to,
Yeah.
really right now, the real estate market is,
So.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just watching TV this morning, and they had, where was it, that they said that in Florida, I think it was, that the land, I mean, you can't, we don't, and here in Laredo, it's the same thing, we don't have any inventory, we don't have any,
Yeah.
I mean, and when you come on the market, it sells, you have 3 or
Yes.
4 bids, and that's it.
That's it.
Over there, they had 10 for one, 10 people, prospective bidders,
Wow.
And it's like, that's the way it is right now, because
Yes.
the interest rates are going up, and people
Yes.
are just speculating.
Yeah.
So right now, I said, I'm gonna buy this, okay, I mean, it's a free market,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
And sometimes they have to bid higher than the asking price to get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, but you turn that around, and you can do the numbers on it, and you can make money.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right,
sir.
anyway. Properties. But anyway,
Income.
Yeah.
so anyway, that's an
Well,
interesting,
so
let
that-
me tell you, it is one of the most exciting projects that we've had
Mhm.
so far, I think, don't you? I mean, this
Absolutely, absolutely, and I like the location and everything. I mean, think of what happened with the arena. And look at all the development around the arena. And it was a dead area. It was a dead area.
You know, Betty, and also, you know, talking about development, I mean, you talk about that new bridge in.
That they wanted
Or
to buy.
it's all of that area is just gonna explode in the next 10 years, you're gonna see it explode.
It's gonna be unbelievable.
Mhm.
But TxDOT has to get, you know, give us the funding.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know how that's
And
gonna work.
it's something that we were a little bit behind compared to other, the valley has a beautiful sports complex.
yeah.
It was something that we needed, like, we
Yeah.
needed that.
Really need it, yes.
Yeah, and I think we're maybe catching up at this
Catching up,
point.
yeah.
Mhm.
But I think that we're gonna get there eventually, you know,
Yeah.
it is something that people are now beginning to realize the
Yes.
potential.
The potential.
And not to really concentrate, because as I see it, everything was done north. Now, you look at this, and this is gonna be all developed, I mean, it's gonna be the north, the south,
Everything's gonna be nice.
Nice.
everything.
Every
Right.
area is gonna
Right.
be nice.
Mhm.
And there's gonna be something to offer the citizens in every area of town.
Yeah.
Where
And
you
that's
wanna, where you
important.
wanna live is gonna be up to you, not
Right.
because there's good schools in this area, or there's because there's more activity here, now you
The
can
only
select the area.
challenging thing here is the city, LISD, you know, it's really confined, I mean, you know, we don't have room to grow.
Yeah.
To
The school
make it the
district.
Central Laredo.
Yeah.
And it-
Yes.
and I
We
know,
need
I
to
never,
expand it a little bit.
well, where? Where? All the properties are
It's all
taken.
UISD.
I mean,
All
UISD
over
is
the
exploded, I
outside.
mean, all the way to the county line.
Yeah.
And you know that they're within the ETJ.
But there's a lot of density in LISD. That's the only thing that helps.
Well, yes and no, I mean, you know, but you have a lot of older neighborhoods.
Yes.
I mean, that need, and I'll give you a prime example, the one that's over here and, you know, behind the outlets.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That
On
area,
Grant?
you go and drive around that area.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of, I mean, I can see a lot of things happening if somebody really, you know, wants to
Puts
do
in the
something.
money, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area, if you could really work on it.
Because, I mean, you drive around, I've been driving around, I bought a home on, what was it, gee whiz, I can't even remember, it's 2 blocks from the outlets. And it was in a neighborhood that you say, wow, I mean, what did I do? I got a good price, I invested a little bit of money. And you know what, I mean, I made a lot of money with that house.
Wow.
I mean, there's a market, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just, you know, and I would drive around and drive around and drive around. And it was like,
Laredo has a lot of potential.
but that
But
area,
let me tell you, one of the things that happens in Laredo, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad, like she was saying, other cities, you know, take off. But Laredo has been, and I'm not sure who drives this, because it's not always the politics or the politicians. Sometimes it's just the citizens. There is no stronger army than an idea whose time has come. And I think the citizens, somehow, we decide when, and then it,
but I think,
That's a lot of truth
but
to
I
that.
think you have to
Absolutely, yeah.
have the idea, even if it's not, it's time. I
Yeah.
mean,
you have to have it,
you have to
yes.
have it,
And
and then you work
yes.
towards it. And
Yes,
it's like, it explodes, I mean, you know,
Yes.
you're a visionary, that's what you call being visionary,
Yes.
you know? And if you don't have visionaries, you know, then everything stays the same. And because if you know this very well, people are afraid, you know, when they're in the like, oh, we can spend our money, we can do this.
yeah,
But you know what? People will embrace it.
yeah.
If you embrace it, and if you can make them see what you're seeing, I mean, if you can do that, then things work.
Yeah. And I think, all of this is part of that plan that we worked on.
This
For
is
the
great.
city.
Let me tell you,
And
yes.
so the vision is there. It's on paper. People had ideas.
Yeah.
We took all their ideas, wrote them down, and now little by little, the city is doing this. So congratulations and thank you for working on this.
Yes, that is a thank you, it's a very, very beautiful thing that is happening in our
Yeah.
community, and we need
Yeah,
to, talk about it more.
yeah, no, definitely.
Very good.
Very good. Moving on to the assistant director's report, which is on page 9.
Madam Chair, so my report is page 9 and 10, and it's a little bit, has to do with marketing too, but this last 2 weeks I was in Monterrey, well, Mexico City first and then Monterrey, and
You
we,
need to take us on one of those trips.
I know, it was,
To get an idea.
yeah, it was really good going in. We got there, traveled Wednesday, came back Friday, but we had, Mexico City was my first time going there to do a press conference.
Really?
I had never, it's always been Selena and Reina and Eileen, and for some reason, this time Reina ended up going, but Selena couldn't go and Eileen, so I ended up going. And, but we partnered with the airport, and with Aeromar, which is our Mexican Airlines, and they had a huge promotion of $250 round trip, includes two, the standard, I think, the two standard luggage, I think it's 50 pounds. 2 of those plus your carry-on, so technically you could come in with 3 bags, or you could bring,
Wow.
you could bring one and take 2 with a bunch of clothes that you buy and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
we had a lot of people. We did it in a restaurant, so we had a lot of turnout, a good turnout. Media was like, oh my God, that was
In
like,
Mexico City?
Mexico City. We had a lot of people. It was really.
And they thought he was a Mexican.
Yeah.
Actor.
And, so-
George Clooney.
the George Clooney-
Muchacho que sale
I know. Yeah, so it was.
They're always looking for somebody that looks like somebody.
I know.
Yeah.
But it was really, really well attended,
Good
and
for
I know
you.
on Wednesday they did a tour. They went to do a lot of interviews, airport with Aeromar and obviously the office. So it was really good. The one in Mexico City, and
And exactly what were you talking about?
so basically promoting the city or destination that come in, take advantage of the flight, direct flight. Holy Week, yeah.
Okay.
It was for Holy Week, but we were extending all the way to the summer. So, but yeah. So the promotion was come for shopping, come get vaccinated. You haven't gotten vaccinated, take your booster shot. For those now there's a second dose of booster. So we were pushing
But they
a lot.
haven't started the second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna be already.
HEB,
Yeah.
CVS.
Yeah, they already have this. So that was our push. Everything with nature. So we were promoting all the parks, kayaking at the Rio Grande. That was a hit.
Oh, that's perfect.
What was nice is that we actually we had Live Laredo, so that was kind of like the theme. So we had one of the influencers that came into Laredo. He actually gave his experience, and he basically said everything that he experienced. So it was like everybody was like, wow, like they're not hearing it from us, from the city, but
Yeah.
somebody that came in,
Person.
took pictures, had so many likes.
There's nothing to do in Laredo. There's gotta.
It has never been to Laredo.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
So
They stay home.
yeah, so it was
They got it out.
yeah. So it was really good. They really they really enjoyed it. So that was really, the one in Mexico City turned out really good. And then we went to Monterrey, and we had more people in Monterrey, and we actually had a representative that works for the governor of Monterrey. So Marco, that he went there. He's part of Codefront, so they manage and operate the Columbia Bridge.
Wow.
So he actually
What was
went,
his name?
Marco Antonio, and I forgot, he has like his last two names, I don't know, but he works for the governor's office. And he ended up we allowed him to speak. So he actually, what we said, we had 2 influencers there as well, Gabby and Sunny, that, wow, like it's like they, they explained their experience in Laredo after what I said, and Reina and Selene from Casa Laredo that they did the presentation, we all did. And then hearing it from them saying, hey, I came with my kids, I did this with my kids, and we went to the Imaginary, went to the mall, we went to golf, and we did this, and then he said, like, I had to go back, like Sonny, in his case, he had to come back, because his son was like, I need to go back, we need to go do this and do that. So it was
That's
like,
wonderful, isn't it?
so.
That's why I don't wanna move the Imaginarium from the mall.
Yeah, it was a hit, and,
But they went up, the rent was
Yeah, I
so
know.
expensive.
And they're not allowed to do a lot of
That's right,
Yeah.
they can, confine you.
so the kayaking, everything nature, that was a whole push, and, and there's, you're less than 3 hours away, so you could drive and, take advantage. You don't have to take your I-94 permits, since you're gonna stay here within the area. We pushed a lot the vaccine, because we have, with the Mexican consulate, and then I think the National Guard, and this, with the city as well, working with the governor to get people vaccinated. And they've had over 70,000 people have been vaccinated. And the huge majority of that has been under between 5 and 12 years old. Or anybody into
so
between 18.
God, really, that much?
Yeah, bringing kids to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't blame them, I mean, nobody wants to see their child.
So it's been a huge push for that. So we were pushing for the vaccines, and people, we put the outlets that has the Mexican consulate and the National Guard that you could get vaccinated on either side of it. So you go shopping, so that's the whole thing, go shopping. After that, the husband will go play at the golf, could go to the state park. We have different golf courses, and go to Golondrinas, eat there, go run if you want to run, you have a drink. So it was the whole experience of nature, kayak at the Rio Grande or kayak at the Lake Casablanca. So people were like, wow, and it was nice. Like for both press conferences, you're like, I don't know if people are gonna want to interview. And then one comes in and everybody comes in. I was like, at one point I'm like, oh my god, like it's crazy. I had like 8 cameras, and then phones. Yeah, one of them was like, oh my.
Those
brave,
lights
though.
are making me.
Yeah, but it was really good. And then after that, on Thursday, after our press conference in Monterrey, we went to a lot of interviews. Some of them were radio interviews, a lot of them were TV stations. But the exposure that we got was tremendous. It was super good.
Well, that's good,
So really excited, yeah. So we did a huge push, and obviously with our campaign that we're doing in Mexico, we wanted to entice people to come in. And,
One of the things that I hope that we are in communications with is other agencies in Laredo, like the Chamber and the Laredo Development Foundation, I don't know what the name is.
Laredo Corporate.
Yes.
Laredo Economic Development
Yes.
Corporation, yeah.
So I think if we educate them as well,
Yeah.
you do your education to them, because I remember not too long ago, maybe 2 years ago, right before COVID, I was at the chamber, and a man came in with his family asking where they could go and play golf, and the girl didn't know.
No, they did.
Yeah.
Especially in a place like that.
Yeah.
Like,
She said, I'm sure you go, there's different places, but I don't know.
Whether you go outside and just pick this way or that way.
So I was the one that, got the map and showed them how.
Yeah, awesome.
But, so I think you
So
have to give
we're
them
working
the
with a new president, Gabby Morales.
Good.
We're working with her, and she,
She seems to be very
yeah.
good.
And so we have a good relationship with them, and right now they're kind of relocating to a new building, or trying to look. So I think they're gonna
Where's the
be.
new building?
I think they're working with the airport, if I'm not mistaken.
They're gonna go to the airport?
One of that area.
I don't know, I think they announced it in the last board meeting, I wasn't there, I missed the meeting, but airport was the one that they were,
Location.
they look at different locations, even LC as well.
LC is offering,
Yes,
spaces.
I
Yeah, they
know,
have a tremendous.
they were
program.
looking
Really,
at
when they
different-
offer you the space, I mean, it comes with security, with light,
yeah.
with everything, I mean, and it's, maintenance, for
I think
whatever
for
the
the
price.
chamber, it was more than anything, maybe the location that,
They were looking at, yeah.
Yes, so.
The airport
That-
or the
no,
location?
No, the location,
At LC.
Elsie, yes, a challenge.
Yeah, and let me tell you, that's a very hard thing to turn down.
Yeah.
Really, I can tell
But
you.
you know, but people look for chamber offices
Yeah.
like
Yes.
these people
Yeah.
that just happened to, you know, they looked and they, Laredo
Yes.
Chamber and,
Like you all, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, I mean, you know, you were right in the heart of downtown. I mean, and people would walk in, and then you moved over here, and I don't know how that has worked out, because, I mean, I was
It's
kind of
kinda
hesitant, you know.
Right now, it's a little bit hard because we moved during COVID, so it's kind
No,
of
but
hard.
like, nobody really
Mm-hmm.
knows.
yeah,
So-
you're gonna have to work on
And
that.
it's
Yeah.
it's a bit removed, you know,
Mm-hmm.
from
Yeah.
the heart of
Yes.
the downtown.
Like the heart of
Yeah.
downtown.
But it's so easy to get to, once
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
But that's the whole trick, is to
once
know.
you know.
Yeah.
Once you know. But I also like, that's why it's so important to have good development, like website and
Yeah.
apps and all that, because, you know,
Because
more and
it
more
was-
people rely on getting to your
Yes.
phone and look for everything
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
So that's something that,
Yes.
you know, that you
Our
guys are doing
website
a
is
great
up to
job,
date.
Yeah.
are doing a great job on, you know, keeping those, you know, ways of communication,
And
social
I
media
do-
and all that, because that is
Yeah,
right
and in
now.
Mexico, I could tell you that that was a push.
Yes.
Download our app, and we basically told the people, like, download the app, everything's there, and we're constantly updating the app, our website, so,
Yes.
because everything is all
Yeah.
digital.
And then link
A lot.
everything
Yes,
that's
together,
true.
because if each one of them does
Mhm.
its job, but if you work with all of those together, and then you also use that information that you get through Google, like what is people asking,
Mhm.
get into all those metrics, because that is so,
Yeah.
so important, and it's
Mhm.
such a big tool that we have to know who's looking, who's,
Yeah.
And what are
what's
they
the
looking for?
demographic,
We
and what are
didn't
you
have that
looking for?
before.
And then when you get all that information and you use that in your other, you know,
Mhm.
social media or in your website or your app, then you get a feed like this.
Yeah.
But you know, if more and more people, and I guess more and more,
Mhm.
we rely on that.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because gone are the days, you know, where you would get a map,
map.
especially when you're traveling. I remember, you know, having to
Yes.
go and just say, okay, we're gonna go from point A to, you know, wherever. Now you just,
Yes.
or you put it into your car. and
GPS, yeah.
GPS.
And the idea is to have everything for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Because then at hotels we still have people, do you have a map?
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, it's great to
Yeah.
have those as well,
Don't you
available
have,
for those.
don't you have a?
I know, right?
Yeah.
I
Those
know.
ones you have to unfold and unfold.
It's just now everything is QR codes, right? Like now everything is QR codes. So
Yeah.
now that's a great idea to develop a little sticker
Yeah.
so we can put at the front desk of the hotels
Mhm.
with a QR code that people can download,
Yeah.
the map, the app, all of that. Because
Yeah.
right now
Exactly.
everything is QR codes.
Mhm. Yeah, because of the touchless.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then you can go to your TV and
I
you can take a
know.
picture of it. That drives
Yes.
me nuts.
So that's something to put there to do. It is so easy to do, and you can link everything, and you can even link promotions or discounts or everything to scan these, download the app,
Yeah.
and get these, you know, coupon or.
Yeah.
That is right now, especially right now that we're coming into the season that we're gonna have a lot of visitors, hopefully. Yeah. Yes.
You will, you
Yeah.
will, I think so.
Summer, all of
Because
that, yeah.
everybody wants
Everybody's
to
doing-
get out.
yes.
Like more and more, when like you go out, and like right now, we're not wearing our masks.
Oh, yeah.
Before we were wearing our masks,
Oh,
all through the.
Trust me, I was one of those.
Here.
I was one of those that wouldn't go anywhere without my mask.
But now you feel more comfortable.
And I was gonna tell you right now about the booster, like just a side comment. I heard these doctors saying if right now the cases are so low and it's so contained in the, you know, in most of the
Yeah, you
communities,
don't have, yeah.
that right now it's better to wait a little bit longer so you can extend your,
Your immunization coverage.
just maybe wait until after the summer.
After you get it.
No, after the summer, I don't know what way to know.
Well, anyway, you have to wait 4 months
Yeah.
from your last one.
Whatever. Yeah. Yeah, no,
Me
relax.
too.
You know, I know we're talking about the masks, but
Mhm.
I was at Dr. Hudson's office and, you know, all the nurses wearing masks. And he says, "You're welcome to take it off." And I said, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Because you were all wearing masks." Or she goes, "We're wearing masks because the last 2 years, nobody in our staff has gotten sick. COVID, blues, colds,
Thank
nothing."
God.
Yes.
So she said, "These masks do work."
They do work, and let me tell you,
Because you're at a doctor's office.
you're right.
Yes.
When you're at a doctor's office, those other people are there because they're sick.
Yes,
Exactly, that would be the
yes.
main.
And it makes sense. I go, wow.
Yes.
And they said the doctor has been wearing a mask 10 years. He's never gotten sick.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, we always have. That girl got the flu. She got sniffles.
Yes,
And
yes.
she said last year nobody's gotten sick.
And the thing is, it the flu?
Yes.
So masks do work.
They do,
Oh, yes.
even
So-
for the flu and
So when I go to the
everything
doctor's
else.
office, I put it on.
Oh,
because
yes.
Everybody in the doctor's office is sick.
Yeah, Dr. Nantu told me the same thing, that he used to have like, by this time, like in January, 30 patients with flu.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he hasn't had any of
Not
those.
to mention, remember, not to mention the staff.
That's right.
So they all wear masks because they don't want to get sick.
That's
And she
right.
told me nobody's gotten sick in 2 years.
There's a big benefit.
Great.
to it.
Especially when you go to doctor's office.
And even-
I'm gonna put one on every time I go to
I
doctor's
know.
office.
Right now,
Because I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get what they have.
we don't have like the, what do they call the communal immunity?
Oh,
Yes, so,
Mhm.
herd immunity, yes. So, we can see really high cases of the regular flu, so
Mhm.
also vaccinations, flu vaccinations, all that is so important, because we might see,
But-
not
but since a lot
overwhelming,
of people
because
did
we are
wear-
now wearing our
Since a lot
masks.
of people did wear masks, the flu
Yeah,
did go down.
yes,
They
but
go
for
down.
that same reason, the immunity went away in a way, so
it's
now,
coming back.
you know, yes.
But
Now that
when-
we're not wearing our face masks, if you don't get your vaccine, your flu vaccine and all that, cases can be.
But now you wear a vaccine, you wear a mask and then you go somewhere.
They look at you weird.
What's wrong with you?
Yes. Yes.
The best rule is at an IDC bank, must wear a mask
Yes.
before entering the bank.
Yes.
There's still
That's
some
weird.
places.
You have to wear a mask to go to a
That was
bank.
Javier's idea.
The thing with, we
Just
still
kidding.
we still wear face masks at the hotel, and the main reason is because then you get somebody sick, and then it's
Okay,
gonna
so-
pass around, and then we're gonna be in trouble, and then
Yeah.
we cannot serve our guests, right?
That's
So,
what he was
that's-
saying.
that's
That's
what-
what Dr. Hudson, yeah.
yes, so then that's the reason why you wanna make sure that you keep your staff. Whatever they do outside, it's fine, but at least inside, you have, when if somebody gets sick, okay, who did you have contact, were you wearing a face mask? Those are the questions that we ask, and then we know if we need to
And
send
most of the
somebody
time
else
you go to
home.
a doctor's office because you're sick, so your
Yeah.
immune system's already down. And
Exactly,
then the petri of other people.
yeah.
So you
The other thing is that we're using a sanitizer all the time. I mean, you
Yeah.
said,
It's a good
I mean,
habit.
it's like, do this,
Yeah.
you know, with a
Something
sanitizer.
good, something
That's
good.
another preventive
Yeah.
measure that we're taking, you know, the mask, the
That is
sanitizer.
correct.
Nos quedamos bien impuestos.
Sí.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to work.
Breakfast, coffee, platiquita, and then. I know.
I was gonna mention something, I don't know where I can mention it, but, it's just, I guess, when we all fly out of Laredo.
Yeah.
You gotta get there 2 hours early,
Mhm.
and sometimes I start chit-chatting with some of the people, and one of the, not the complaint, but observation that, there's no restaurant here, there's no gift shop. There are souvenirs.
They're working on that.
I understand there's nothing else to
Yeah,
keep
that's
them.
right.
But I was thinking, because a lot of them are, I wanna get Laredo, at the airport, I thought, I'm sorry?
No, the decision to close the restaurant at the airport, was that a business decision? or-
Yeah.
I know it's
Part
always
of
because of
it,
COVID.
part of it was the remodeling, and they had to be off for a while, and so then they just decided to retire.
Yeah. And they owed the city, I think they had.
They
an
have a
issue.
lot of grandchildren, and that's what they were taking care of, their grandchildren, in between restaurant hours.
Well, then you shouldn't have any friends.
And a lot of people said, gosh, I was hoping to pick up some Laredo souvenirs before I left, and of course, there's no
We
gift
need
shop.
that.
And I was thinking, since you have somebody there,
We used to,
not anymore?
not anymore, because when, I think that happened when Jeff was hired as a director. So now that desk, that information desk that we used to have there, we still have visitor guides and there's information there, but now it's managed by the parking management company that
Okay.
oversees the.
Because I did see a girl there.
Yeah, so she's part of the I don't know what's it, business
Oh.
that wants to
So
run.
that would be a good place to sell all our
That
souvenirs.
sounds like a perfect place. to sell.
Where used to be where Clear Choice
That'd
is,
be it.
they used to sell a lot of our, they used to buy some
Okay.
souvenirs and they used to sell some stuff from our promo.
Okay.
But they moved out and the restaurant closed down. Actually, I know they had an event to open to get people to see if they wanted to open a restaurant there. I don't know how it went, because I didn't go to that one, but I know they had a press conference, and they had a meeting and stuff like that.
I hope so.
At the airport. They're actually right now working for the expansion of the airport, so they're gonna integrate probably more space for that.
Wondering when that
I
was
think,
gonna happen.
I think the restaurant business is very hard there because there's limited, customers that are taking flights, so
Mhm.
they're not gonna be able to
But
survive.
let me tell you, that restaurant, people were going just to go
Oh,
eat.
yes.
That was
Oh,
very
yes.
good.
Yes.
I was one of them.
Parking for an
Yes.
hour.
Yeah,
Yes.
And, oh, yes.
And
Yeah,
the food,
yeah.
yes,
To
great food.
have breakfast there
Especially
every
the
day almost.
Raymond, I'll make sure we read that to,
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
That's a,
to the staff.
that's a
Yeah,
very
but
good
It has to be a good
Oh, you're
restaurant.
right, you're 100%
Because a lot
right.
of people,
Yeah.
you pick up your souvenirs when you fly out, because that's the best place.
Exactly.
And that's another thing that we have to stop seeing us like this is small city that, oh, we don't need all of these, there's no
Oh, we
people
need a
visiting, because
lot.
Yeah.
we need to believe it, and we need to trust that, yes, there's people coming, and there's people that really have that sentiment that of saying, I want a souvenir from Laredo. It was a good experience, I want to share my family.
And we still have people coming in all the time,
Yes.
we're souvenirs, we're souvenirs,
Yes.
we're souvenirs. Of course, fortunately, I've been getting t-shirts from here
Yes.
and caps, but I'm surprised, I mean, I would never thought
That people
stop in a
would
Mexican
turn
import
out
shop
to
and
say,
asking for
yeah.
souvenirs.
Mhm.
We did hear that the airport was looking into a souvenir vending machine.
Yeah.
That's
We
nice.
do know that they're looking into
I
that.
don't like the vending machines, I'm sorry, because
Now you
You
can get
gotta be-
cupcakes and
You gotta-
cakes and everything in vending machines, so yeah, souvenirs. Eyelashes at the mall. You can get eyelashes
I saw that,
at an ATM
I
machine.
can never
Nail.
put them on, I mean, those eyelashes are got a price.
But that's a very good
Yes,
observation.
it is.
Yeah.
It is, because I think that, you know, when they
And we
say
need a
that,
good
Yeah.
restaurant, not just.
Yeah, like a homemade, like,
Because to me, those Laredo souvenirs are
oh, like
ambassadors.
the Laredo Taco.
You buy a Laredo t-shirt,
Taco
you go to
company.
So in Arkansas, Laredo, so it's
Was there
the brand's been out
and
there.
their price
And
and
yeah.
their
I mean,
rates
it-
and
it is
everything.
Yeah,
so-
everybody knows Laredo, whether
Yeah.
it's good or bad, they know.
Yeah, but it's good that it's out
Yes.
there
Yes. No, I agree.
in their minds, just.
Qué bueno. Oh, we need to. Yeah, you know, I used to fly a lot, and I would know everybody on the plane.
Yeah, I know.
Now I
you-
fly and I don't know anybody.
Yes, you're right.
It's true.
You're right.
Training new people, yeah.
And if you make conversation, they're coming for so
So many-
many things that you're not even aware, you don't know that type of
Yeah.
business
If you
existed.
sit at the airport in
Yes.
Dallas, you know, taking a flight back to Laredo, and you look at people and you say, I wonder where they're going to Laredo for.
Yes.
You want to ask, you know, take a
Yes.
survey, you know, what, and you see,
Yes.
it's like, wow.
Well, because of my business, I do ask. I make
Yes.
conversation. I make it a
Yeah.
point to ask, like, where are you going?
Right.
Especially if I see like a group of businessmen or
Yes,
yes.
yeah.
So what are like I want to know because
And
you
where
know
you
because of
stay?
my business. Where are you staying? Yes, I have to ask those questions, and I do that. I'm not ashamed, but yes, I
No,
do
good,
that.
yes. I always do.
Yes, that is my business. Yes. So.
I always ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you sparked a lot of conversation, sir, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay, we have to limit this to 3 minutes.
Set the timer
Very good
as per
talk.
Judy's
Very good.
request.
And it's beneficial to
Yes.
the city.
Yes.
Moving on to the services coordinators report, Veronica is not with us right now, so go ahead, which is on page 11.
Yes, Madam Chair, her reports on page 11 and 12 and 13. What I wanted to highlight that we had, working with PIO from the city and Same South Arena, and Hispanic International, we launched the press conference for Sister Cities Festival. It was really well attended. Media as well, we've had a lot of good coverage. We came out in the paper and TV, so we're really excited now that it's gonna open after we were closed for the pandemic. So it's gonna be our big event, so we're really excited. Page 12, you see some of the pictures of the mayor, everybody that was there was, like I said, really well attended by media. We're really excited, and she's currently working on that, getting more sponsors. So that's basically on her report. I wanted to highlight that, Madam Chair.
Very good.
I think the advertising is really going, the promotion,
Yes.
especially for the sister cities,
Mhm.
is going very well.
Yes.
Koala, are you guys thinking of incorporating any outdoor areas or anything into the festival, or is it still gonna be contained to the
So,
inside of
and so
traditional?
right now it's still the inside.
Yeah.
What we did is kind of expanding, and that was from here, was
Mhm.
doing the holiday market, like adding other that could help with the sister cities grow and
Yes.
branch out. So eventually, that's where we're kind of going. But as of right now, everything's still, because in the summer it gets super hot,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it's just
Nobody
it's gonna
wants to
be.
be outside.
I can tell you that when people, they wait just to go in, but they don't wanna, adding activities outdoor, it really, that's why here
It's
at the
hard.
Evans, it worked out really good, the holiday market, because it
Yeah.
still was on the roof and everything, but we're constantly always changing, on what else we could do, but yeah, so
You'll
right.
be surprised how successful those pop-up markets and shops
yeah.
that are, they're all over town
Yeah,
now lately,
yeah.
and they draw a lot of people. People
Mhm.
like to go out and walk and
Yeah.
be, just
Right
walk
now in the
around.
spring, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the
The
kids,
summer is another thing.
That's
Yeah.
summer is
You're
something.
gonna be more
You're
than
right.
that,
Mhm.
Yeah.
maybe.
I think if eventually we do that, we probably would have to do it at the stadium, because even the people that parking at the arena, they take most of the parking.
That's true.
That's true.
So either we shift everything to arena, and then we cut certain areas for parking, and then move secondary parking at the stadium. But we could look into that. But as of right now, we're basically doing what we've done in the past.
I'm very happy to see that we are on PBS.
Mhm.
I
And this
know.
history, this is the second time
Mhm.
that the chef stag comes to Laredo, and
Mhm.
I had the good fortune of going to, he's in Massachusetts, I think? No, he's in, because we went to his restaurant. It's-
Oh, really?
It's in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, and we did the whole historical thing.
Yeah.
Isn't it, his restaurant was there,
Oh, wow.
and it was
Oh.
a nice place, and he brought that award-winning program, and now he did it a second time.
Yeah.
And
That's,
it's gonna be, the show is planned to be released in July 2022, you can see all of these areas that he went
Yeah.
from Laredo to do.
yeah, I know Selena was working on that, so.
Oh, you did?
When they approached us, it was through Margarita, the
Yeah, yeah.
County Heritage Foundation. We went ahead and partnered up on it. We assisted financially, and while they were in town, he was hosted by Pete Mims over at their ranch, and then they were able to spend some time with Lalo over at the Border Heritage Museum to kind of just get a little bit of the Laredo historical background to kind of tie into how the food preparation goes, and the way historically food has come around here on the border.
That's good, because I think that the people that watch the PBS program, get a good idea about our community.
Yes.
There's a lot of good exposure.
Yeah,
He's an award-winning chef, he's got, I don't know how many.
Yeah, and this is his second time, so, he was very interested in returning back to Laredo, and we're waiting for the show to come on, and that, should be this summer. But
Yes, but it's a big PBS, it's, wow.
I know, and then it says that we were the unhealthiest city in the,
Well, si llegas a comer, and anywhere you can get your
we're
diet.
the most
Yeah.
savory city.
Yeah.
We have good food here, folks.
it's unhealthy, but it's wonderful.
It's tasty.
It's very tasty.
So after Veronica's report, you'll find my report on pages 14, 15, and 16. And, Joel has touched on the fact that we did have 2 press conferences to promote Semana Santa and the direct flights from Aeromar. And in regards to the invites to the local partners, the Laredo Chamber of Commerce was one of the entities that originally had signed on and said that they would be able to attend. But unfortunately, after speaking with Ms. Morales, her schedule just kind of backed up, and she said that if, she wasn't able to schedule this in with the meeting that came up right afterwards. But we are keeping in contact with them. I have reached out to her staff to help with content for our website, for our blog, and we hope to go ahead and, keep on working with them
just to enhance the relationship and come together to, you know, promote Laredo overall.
I think it's a good idea what you were saying a while ago, maybe to integrate all of these organizations, you know, to be able to get, you know, more involved and everybody, you know, being on the same page with everything and knowing how to access, you know, different services. I think that's a very, very good idea.
Maybe suggest the receptionist takes destination training?
That's
No.
right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We are going to have a special destination training up in May. The first week of May is celebrated as National Travel and Tourism Week. So we plan to do something every day of the week just to celebrate our hospitality partners. May 2nd through the 7th.
It's coming up.
Yes, coming up right away, and Veronica is actually coordinating, and we're still working on the graphics, but it'll be a destination training with 25 spots available, open to the public. Usually we just, you know, do it for our frontline service members, but this will be, you know, for the public, and it's, you know, pretty much your half day where you take a window tour around the city. We have a couple of stops, enjoy a nice lunch, and it just gives you an opportunity to go ahead and reconnect with your city, you know, and that way for when you do have people that, if you're working in the hotel industry or at a restaurant, like what's there to do, you kind of a little bit more refreshed. Or for, you know, those public members that where we just have family members from out of town, it's like, oh, come on over, let's go to the Imaginarium, or let's go ahead and, you know, the Water Museum's open again, let's go that way. So it just serves as a re-familiarization tour.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's, wow.
Yes, and aside from that evening, we will go ahead and have our partner appreciation night, where we're going to reach out to some partners, and Veronica's also working on getting quotes for the location where we'll be hosting this. This will kind of be like an after hours happy hour, just as a thank you for all the hard work. And
That's nice.
you know, we know that the industry took a hit. Oops. Let me get us back on track.
Yeah, that's still recording.
He said these people are talking too much.
You're using a lot of time.
Embedded software.
See you, Dee.
Easy.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a thank you, you know, for the industry. You know, we did see where a lot of restaurants were affected, you know, they had to let a lot of people go, and then the others that were still very resilient and still pushed on through the pandemic. And this is just our little way of thanking them. And that Saturday, which will be May 7th, we're gonna be opening up our visitor shop to give people the opportunity that aren't able to come during the week, you know, during work hours, so they can come and, you know, get to know our office and get to know our visitor, our gift shop, and just, you know, welcome again, welcome them to Laredo.
That's wonderful. I mean, it's really, really nice. I guess because we've been up too long that he said, that sounds great. We're gonna
breath.
I mean, it's like, wow, something to do.
And we are going to go ahead and send y'all an invitation for the next meeting, which will be Cinco de Mayo.
Oh my goodness.
And we are looking to host that at the Laredo Water Museum.
Where?
So the Laredo Water Museum.
Oh, that's-
So we hope that y'all can join us at that time.
Yeah, we.
That'd be cool.
I don't remember what we had.
I've gone there.
Huh?
I've gone there.
I have to.
Yeah, they had closed down because of pandemic, but about 3 weeks ago, they reopened back to the public. So they were
It's a
able
nice
to get
place.
their staffing schedules, open up during the week and on weekends as well now.
Bring your walking shoes. Yes, ma'am.
I'll bring 2 canes.
You're so funny.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Selena?
Good job.
Good job, Selena, thank you.
Thank you.
And now we move on to the Mojave Office, which is on page 19.
So, Madam Chair, page 9, Casa Laderos report is page 19 to 22.
So that was what you reported on, what you.
Yeah, they-
basically.
Yeah, basically I wanted to highlight they were very instrumental, both Selena and Samuel, for both press conferences and working in coordination with the marketing team here and with the agency. So wanted to highlight those things as well that we kind of already talked about. So that was really the big highlight for their report. They continue doing Facebook Lives as well, but they're very key instrumental for the big promotion for those.
They probably had a lot to do with the good turnout on your presentation, that where y'all had 70 people there in
Yeah.
attendance instead
Yeah.
of Mexico City had 50 or something.
Yeah.
So I'm sure
So-
they have a lot to do with that.
Yeah, and they have a really, obviously, a driving market, Monterrey, and all that area is really big for us, so they have really good, they have really good connections.
More than a million people?
Oh, yeah, I think they're over 5 million.
5 million.
5 million, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, all the different cities.
Oh, you mean?
The state,
Yeah.
the state, yeah, the
Yeah.
whole state, yeah.
Well, that's very interesting.
Are they
So,
they stay motivated?
yeah,
Yes, that's good.
yeah.
Well, that's
They
wonderful.
seem to be very good people.
Yeah, doing really good, so we're really excited for that. I'm not sure if you have any other questions regarding their report.
This was a good meeting, you know.
Yeah.
Very good meeting.
And then the only announcement that I had, Madam Chair, was what Selena mentioned, that we're gonna be planning for National Tourism Week. Basically that you'll be seeing a calendar that will be emailing you with different activities we're gonna be doing. Our special advisory committee meeting, it's gonna be at the Water Museum. So
That's gonna be for the next.
for next month, yeah. So we'll have different Cinco de Mayo. We're gonna have, we're working on doing an event as well as an appreciation, so hopefully you guys could join us. We still are
Happy hour mixer?
That's what's gonna be. So
Oh, yeah.
we're finalizing the location. We still haven't contracted, but as soon as we have that, we're gonna be mailing you guys that information. So next month, it's gonna be, even I think, our meeting's gonna be different. Eileen wants to present something different, so you most likely will not probably see reports for next meeting. It's gonna be a presentation from her of what she envisions, what we're gonna be doing for
That's
what-
good. I
for
think
next
that
year and
is
stuff
very
like that.
good.
So
Thing to do.
yes,
Because, I
so
mean, as we go, you know, further into the year of what's gonna be happening next year, you know, you wanna have an idea, you know, what thoughts and, you know, what plans you have.
exactly. So
Yeah.
we're probably gonna be presenting our strategic plan. So you're gonna see that.
You're very important.
Yes.
You know, one thing we ought to do is announce officially
Mhm.
why some of the staff is missing.
Mhm.
You should just say,
Yeah, it would be
you
nice to
know,
have a full, all of my members here. It would be.
Yeah. Or from our staff, you mean?
Oh, from your staff.
From your
staff,
from your staff,
yes.
yeah.
Like say Miss Aileen is, you know,
Mhm.
Taking care of
they
this.
don't, yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
so that it gets recorded.
Yeah, so, and I could say that, so Eileen and Reina are currently going to Michoacan, to Uruapan, for a big event. Since they're signing a sister cities agreement, so that's why they're on travel right now. And with some city delegation with the one of the the assistant city managers is going, and our council members, I don't know if it's 1 or 2. And there's other departments that are going for an event there. And Veronica, she's right now on leave, so she took some time off this morning. And obviously, someone in Senele from Casa Laredo, we tried to bring them in.
Sure.
We're gonna start bringing them more often now that everything's more back to normal. But they can't make it. We normally try to
Sure.
to do either virtual, but with this one, it's kind of hard to do
It's
it both.
very difficult.
So, but they're gonna try to be here more often. They're gonna be here for the one in May.
That's
So,
great.
yeah.
Well, it's good to see them, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, because I think it's important for us, for them also.
Awesome, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
But at the same time, we don't see them, that means they're promoting the city.
yeah.
Which is,
Yeah.
They're currently on business travel.
They're
right
currently
now.
on business travel. They're in San Miguel de Allende.
Oh, my
nice.
They're promoting, they're doing I know, right? I was like, I can go with you guys. But no, I have to stay here for the meeting.
everybody knows more than we, or you all know more, but does it realize how important you all are? that much?
Yes, we have.
You're the
great-
lifeline.
Yeah, we have a great relationship with council and mayor and obviously, and all the different departments.
Sometimes we
to
don't, I
manage
don't
them.
see the connection, to be quite honest, between the council and, you all.
Mhm,
There's a lot of stuff that's going on that we get to see here,
mhm.
or is going to happen, and somewhere.
But do they know? Yeah.
Yes, you do, because
I think so.
we submit information to them every Friday, every week, we submit a
Yeah,
Friday
but
packet.
there should- something, I think they should have a report or at least a story every week. There's a lot of stuff in here the citizens should hear of what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, really, and this is exciting stuff
Yeah.
that nobody hears about.
Yeah. And they get copies of this and then we submit every week a report to them, so to.
I mean, coming back to my comment about members attending our meeting, I think I understand there are people that have things that they're not able to come or whatever, but our committee, our advisory committee would be so much stronger if we get everybody's ideas here and not just, the same ones, because we all have our contribution, but
Mhm.
that is the purpose of our presence here,
Mhm.
to be an advisory committee to help promote, encourage, everything that they're doing. And
Well,
maybe
what-
it's something that they don't see, we can see,
Mhm.
That's the only thing I meant. I didn't mean anything negative.
No, and I just
as far as
wondered
what
what
I
happened to
mentioned.
that rule, or, that the city has, that if you miss,
3 absences.
Oh,
Three
it's
absences
there,
in there.
It's still
there,
there.
because
So-
I was called on it.
Yeah.
Because there were a couple of times that I didn't call in,
Yeah.
but I couldn't come. And so Aileen called me and said, by the way, and so they, reviewed the thing, and I had like one more chance.
Yeah.
you took it.
So that's what's important, if you can make it, to
I
call
don't
and get an
know,
excuse.
Yes.
I don't know if you have but they say excused or unexcused.
Yeah,
That's what they said. So
Yes.
some of the board members have not been here in, I don't know how long.
I think that CBB has its own ordinance. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Because most of them are ruled or governed by the same rule. But for some reason, CBB was established, the CBB Advisory Committee was established under its own ordinance. And that one does allow for the excuses. And the thing is, what changed was it resets every calendar year.
Yeah.
So you start from scratch,
On
as
October
of
1st.
one in January.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
nice.
then,
I don't know about that, because I was asking somebody else that's in another committee, and they said, you're very strict with it, and it's
no, but here
Yeah.
they do have their own rules.
well,
I appreciate everybody
Yeah,
that
sure.
comes and, I think.
Definitely no.
Because everybody
Well,
takes
I-
their time,
Yeah.
their time from their personal, everyday, hard work days, to also come in
Yeah.
and comply with our duties.
yeah,
So I thank everybody for that.
well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This was a very nice.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Yes, okay.
Thank you so much.